Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just came here to talk about the macroeconomy assignment, the presentation. My name is Akadekoyum Oluwakolumi. Is my school ID card number. Program Bachelor in Accounting, course Microeconomics, while lecturer names Dr. Nukatina Mohammed. Let's talk about the meaning of demand. Demand is the amount of commodity which the consumer is willing to buy at a given price at a particular period of time. A human being wants or desire many things which his financial resources cannot meet at the same time. We have two types of law of demand. Number one, we have normal demand and abnormal demand. Normal demand is also known as the first law of the demand. It stated that the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded, or the lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. Why abnormal demand is usually the second law of the demand. It stated that the higher the quantity demanded. Abnormal demand law usually based on the assumption that quantity demand is directly to the price of the commodity. Here, this is the diagram of law of demand. As you can see, when the price raise, when the price raise, the goods fall, as you can see on the screen. Now, let's talk about the market demand. Market demand is the quantity of goods and services that all the consumer of the commodity are willing, able, and ready to buy at a given price at a particular period of time. Demand curve. Demand curve. This is the diagrammatical representations of the relationship between the price and the quantity demanded at the same time point. Demand curve can be used either for the price, quantity relation for an individual consumer of, or for all the consumer in a particular market. The formula for demand curve, we found that Q is equal to minus A plus B. A minus BP. Q stand for linear demand curve, while A stand for factor influencing demand basic price, B stand for slope, P stand for price. Demand schedule. Let's talk. What's the meaning of demand schedule? Demand schedule shows the relationship between the quantity demand and the price market at the same goods at the time. It's at the time it shows the quantity that can be purchased at the price change. So let's look at the example of demand curve. Example of demand curve, as you can see on the screen, when the price was 5, the quantity demand is 10. The higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. The lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. Yeah, there are two types. We have quantity change in demanded and quantity change in demand. There is difference between both of them. Number one, let's look at quantity change in demanded. As movement along, a demand curve will mean an increase or decrease in the front of the goods and services bought at the same time as a result of fall or rise in price. Changing in demand means is that price is the only cause of the changing in the quantity demand, while other factors that affect the demand remain unchanged. We have type of interrelated demand. There are 6 types of interrelated demand. Number one, short and long run demand, price demand, income demand, competitive demand, in drive demand, and composite demand. Let's talk about the short run demand. Short run demand trend to be the more price inelastic. In the short run, as a customer doesn't have time to find alternative. What about the short run, long run demand? Long run, consumers become more aware of alternative. It's the period when the general price level, contractual wages, rates, and expectations adjust fully. to the state of an economy. Example of long run and short run. Here, this is the example of short run and long run. As you can see, this is a long run, this is the long run. Why? This is the short one. What is my income demand? Income indicates the relationship between the income and the quantity of the commodity demanded. Example of income, as you can see in the screen, this is example of income. You see the price, it looks like it's supply. Yeah, price demand. Price demand relates to the amount of consumer is willing to spend on a particular product or a particular spend on the product as a given price. Competitive demand. Competitive demand. Demand is said as a competitive when the consumer is wanted to satisfy a want in a place of another similar commodity. Drive demand. This is the situation in which a commodity is wanted not for it immediately satisfaction of what, but because of the demand of another commodity. Composite demand. Composite demand is said to composite when a commodity is wanted to satisfy different wants. Example, palm oil. Palm oil may be demanded for cooking food, manufacturing of soap, and pomade. Yeah, law of supply. Law of supply is stated that the higher the price, the higher of the price of the commodity, the higher the quantity supply. Example, diagram of law of supply. As you can see, as the price increase, quantity supply also increase. Why? When the price fall, the quantity supply also fall. Market supply. This is the quantity of a good and services which the supply of a particular commodity are ready to supply at a particular time at a given price. Definitions of perfectly of elasticity of demand, of elasticity of supply. Sorry, elasticity of supply may be defined as a degree of responsiveness of supply to a little change in process in the price of goods. How to calculate elasticity of demand? We have elasticity of demand, ED. ED is equal to percentage change in quantity, percentage change in demand over percentage change in price. Now, related with the current issue in economy, according to Scholar Google say, according to Scholar Google say, the issue of the groundwater management remains as a practical concern in the many regions throughout the world. Why water management continue to be grappled with the question of how to manage these resources. In this article, we attempt to bring the most advanced and the appropriate tools to the bar on the issue of resources allocating involving in water grant. Continuation. Continuation about the related with current issue. The religious supplement to current issue and economic and financial combine a range of topical pertaining to the economy of the Federal Reserve Systems, second district, including the fiscal condition, housing and credit market, growing the previous and employment. So thank you very much for looking at my presentation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.